G'day guys, what's going on? Supro here, welcome to the channel. Today I'll be going over my round 16 review. I scored 2,442 in the top 1% with a season rank of 1,200, which is pretty good. Went up the ranks 697 spots, which is absolutely great. Pretty rapt about that. So hopefully we can keep moving up into the top 1,000. That'd be ideal. Probably stuffed up the captain option this week. I did actually say that I was going to put the C on Bont, but then I changed that last minute for Nankervis just because I thought, with the talk about Bont being out or not playing, I was like, I might as well just chuck it on Nank. And yeah, it didn't go as I expected, but it was all right compared to some of the other scores throughout the round for like captaincies. Wasn't a really good week for like high scoring players. Like everyone kind of scored about the same thing this week, which was pretty interesting, except for those guys like Walsh and that, and Bont. But anyway, had the VC on Gawn, so I thought he was going to go like at least 135 plus, but he didn't. Bit of a letdown. He kind of just seemed like he was watching the ball a fair bit, not really going hard for it. So that was a bit frustrating as for a VC option. It does have West Coast this week, so I think Flynn's Flynn might be out for like next week, so hopefully Gawn, he might be in the considerations this week for a captaincy option maybe. But yeah, he should just be versing BJ Williams, so should just dominate hopefully. But yeah, most people have Gawn, so bit of a obvious one anyway. So I've got 6 trades here. Not sure if I'll do anything this week, but we'll go back over the captain option. So I had the C on Nank, which was pretty good, I guess, considering like some of the low scores from our other primos this week. So kind of was pretty lucky to get like a 120 plus score. He only got 121, which is one of those scores that you don't like just take, especially at this time of the year. You probably want to take something past 125, but 121's not too bad. Can't really complain with that. Some people would have had the C on like Heaney or Merritt, so got a few points extra there, which is right. But yeah, it was a bit disappointing because was it Tom DeConing? Yeah, he got dropped, I think, or he was like managed or something for the game last minute. So they played Pitnett. So I was kind of hoping that DeConing would play just because he gives up heaps of ruck points, but he didn't even play. So Nankervis was looking pretty good in the first half, like he was going to go like 140 plus, but he kind of just dropped off in the last half of the game there when they started losing by a fair bit. So that's a bit frustrating. But we'll go over the side. So Dacos 116, he's just an absolute gun. Probably him or Cripps for the Brownlow this year, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. Dacos, he's just super consistent. Most people would have chucked the C on him, so only got a few extra points there. Sheasel was pretty good in the North game, but yeah, they did only just lose to the Doggies, which was a bit of a surprise. Houston, I actually missed that game, so I actually am not too sure what happened to him. Bit of a letdown for most people that have him in the leagues. Like, what can you do about this? You can't really do too much. One of the worst scores of the season for him, I think it was, definitely. So that's no good. Hopefully he can bounce back this week against the Doggies. Which isn't Adelaide Oval, but who knows? They're kind of like on the edge, Port Adelaide at the moment. But then Luke Ryan is probably at his cheapest price of the year now. Got Richmond coming up, so got that 197 last time, so we can definitely be thinking about putting the C on him this week. But yeah, most people probably will do the same thing. It's just a matter of if you're going to go for rank or not, so you might want to go a bit of a pod instead, but I think you could do the VC on him maybe if you wanted to do that. Get the higher score, the higher ceiling player first as your VC is the way to go, I'd say. And then Whitfield, 117, so he's been fairly good as well. They can't really break past like 150k though in their pricing, so maybe we see that happen for Whitfield for the first time, I think. He hasn't really gone past that all year, so he's coming good now, which is awesome. And then McGovern, he was just unbelievable. So I don't know, I think I was like talking about trading him out, but he's just such a gun. Nearly averaging 110, which is crazy. What a starting pick he's been. Just such a dominant player. Like, I really enjoy watching him play. He's really good to watch. and yet, he puts his body on the line. That's the risk with him. So some people didn't go on him, but 132 was great stuff. I think he was on the bench for the last 8 minutes of the game as well, so probably could have got a 140 at least. But yeah, we'll definitely take the 132. That's a great score from him. And he's got the D's coming up, which he's got pretty good history against, so could see another 120 score from McGovern this week, hopefully. And then we've got Bont with the 157 here, who went nuts against North Melbourne, it was, I believe. He just went nuts. He just, flicks the switch and he's going crazy. He's had some really big games, except for the Brisbane one there. So, we want him to win the Brownlow at some point. Hopefully he does. But, he's just in unbelievable form. Probably the best player in the competition at the moment. But, yeah, another guy that you probably want to put the VC on every week. But he does have Port this week, so might get the tag from Willem Drew. There's some nice scores in there, though. So, yeah, could be a good option if you want to take the punt there. Might go for a bit of a pod, though, trying to get up the ranks. And then Merritt got the 78 there. So I actually watched the game, but I don't even know what happened to Merritt. I think I had too many beers there, but, it was a bit of a controversial game there. Sorry. But, yeah, Merritt was 78. Maybe he got the tag. I can't really remember, to be honest. But, we had a pretty big one on Saturday night, so... yeah, can't really remember what happened there. It's probably the worst score from him for the whole season. So definitely could try and sideways him into your side if you don't have him. That's probably not a bad shout against the Pies. I don't think he'll cop a tag there, so he should be pretty good. And he's got a few games at Marvel, I think, for the rest of the year, MCG. Yeah, so they've got a pretty nice lineup coming up there. Just the one game out of Melbourne, so that'll be pretty good to witness. We'll have Merritt and, he'll be going off, which will be nice. And then Sarong's been under the pump a bit. He hasn't been going as well, getting a bit of attention. Just a couple average scores from him, but, we still get excited about the Richmond lineup this week. So, he could be another guy you want to look at, a VC option as well if you want to go there. That's understandable. And then Butters with a 114, which is pretty good. Got the Dogs this week. Probably will get attention, not too sure about that. And then Walsh was playing really good there, so that's awesome. Got the Giants coming up, which will be interesting to see if they tag him or not. But he's in unbelievable form. And Steele's probably the one on my side at the moment, and Rao that I'm a bit worried about. Maybe I have to sideways them off. But I don't think I can do that as of yet. I think I'll just hold on to him. And Green got the 117, so he's got a low break even now. He's going back up. But yeah, he seems to have found his form, which is nice. Hopefully the same can be said for Rao. We'll hold him one more week, I reckon. Got North Melbourne, so hopefully he doesn't get the tag this week against North Melbourne. But yeah, if he doesn't go 120 plus, then I might have to trade him out next week. He is dropping a little bit in cash at the moment, so I think we should just probably hold him. There's still so far to go in the season, so don't want to be burning through too many trades just yet. But yeah, we're nearly at the end of the season, so I think I'll give him one more week. If he's not going to go massive against North, then that's fair enough. We can get rid of him, but we'll hold the faith of him there. Revel had a pretty good score there as well as cover on the bench, 95, so that's probably his highest score of the season. Pretty good stuff from him. Just as a little bit of backup, maybe we could loop him with someone like Rao, but who knows? It's a bit silly to be doing that. And then Clark and Dowling got in the 50s, so not too bad for rookies, but we don't really care about that anymore. And then Flanders, he's so expensive now, but he's just super consistent, hasn't gone under 100 all year. Just a great pick, so everyone has him. I wonder got Heaney with 85, which is a bit of a drop off from him. They had a loss by a point, which is a bit stiff for the Swans, but he just was getting a bit of attention. And then Zorko played pretty good. 115 is a good score from him. Got the Crows, probably wouldn't be looking at him as an option for VC this week, but I might have to do a bit more research into that. And then Moore came out with the 136, so we knew he would go okay against West Coast, but yeah, that's a pretty good score, so pretty happy with that actually. Bit of a pod, I guess. Guess some people don't have him still, but maybe you want to sideways like a Kuno or someone like that to a Moore, but it's a bit risky, like at this point of the season, who else do you really get? But that's why I'm pretty happy with my forward line. I just didn't want to take one of the key forwards, even though like Moore kind of is a key forward or somewhat of a key forward, but not really. Same sort of role, but you can get up into the midfield, which is good. And then I think Will Day's going to be out, so that's good for Moore if you have him. So yeah, he should be able to get some more midfield time, hopefully. And then Fisher, I think he got injured, so I can't really remember what happened to him. So we'll have to look at the injury list tomorrow night and see what the go is with Fisher. Jackson was pretty average. I think they've got Nank this week, so they'll definitely double team him. So I'm a bit worried about the ruck score from Nank. Hopefully, it's probably the worst matchup for him for the rest of the year, but he should be able to go pretty large. Hopefully you get like a 110 at least. But yeah, I probably won't consider him to be a captain or VC option this week. And then Day got a 48, so if we need his cash, we can just trade out him and Revel later on to get a 23rd player if we need to. But I think we'll just hold off for a couple more weeks if we're going to do any trades. Humphrey's got a 91, which is pretty crazy. You didn't see that. But he looks really good. I don't see him getting dropped from the side anytime soon. Brings a bit more youth into our side. So, I think he's got some good job security if you wanted to grab him as some cover. He's got the DPP status, so he's a good shout, I reckon. Maybe I might grab him next week. I'll probably just wait until next week if I'm going to do that. You could go early on him if you wanted to do like a loop, but I probably wouldn't do that. Rankin has just been in really good form. He's probably like who I'd rather have over Jackson, but I just can't afford him. He's too expensive at the moment. Maybe you could do something like that and get rid of Revel and Day. Probably not actually, too expensive, yeah. But yeah, if we're going to get him, we'll just have to wait until he drops in price. Caldwell, definitely if you want to get maybe you want to sideways one of your key forwards or something. If you got one of those guys, you'd probably want to get Caldwell. He's got the great run with all the Marvel and MCG games, and he's been scoring pretty well recently. Gets the mid minutes, and Parrish is still a couple weeks off, so should be in for a couple big scores if you want to take the punt on him. Pretty safe option, I'd say. Sean Maker, is it? Yeah, Sean Maker. I don't know, if you need a downgrade option, then you'd grab him, but I'm not really looking at rookies anymore, so see what we've got coming up anyway. Round 17, got Ryan, so he's probably going to give me a bit of a push for my money here. Both full primo teams. He's got Simpkin, so yeah, see how he goes. I think he had a pretty poor game this week. 68, yeah, so you'd be upset if you're a Simpkin owner there, but hopefully he comes good for you. And Yo, he actually kind of went shit as well. So I think I was recommending Yo, so that's a bit of a stitch up. Hopefully he can bounce back from this just bit of a form slump. They just didn't really show the effort from the West Coast Eagles. McGovern was tearing it up, but Yo just wasn't going that great at all, which was a bit of a surprise. Don't know what the go with that is. Maybe just come off the bye or something and just not playing as good. But yeah, pretty interesting matchup. He's got Caldwell there, so yeah, he's a good option in the forward line. He's probably a better option than a Moore and Fisher. It's just I probably wouldn't be sidewaysing at this point in the season just yet. Wait until a couple of weeks. If I'm not getting up the ranks, I might do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's it probably doesn't make too much sense. But I think I'll just hold on to my team. I've got a few pods here like Nank, so I should be able to get the points that way. instead of having to get another pod in. I mean, well, Colwell's probably highly owned at the moment now that he's been playing really good, so probably just won't get him. Trying to, maximise my pods, see if they go well. But who have we got here? You got Essendon. So Essendon Collingwood match up this week. Dacos is probably a safe VC option. Most people will probably go there, but you don't want to miss the massive score if he does get it. So you might be forced to put the VC on Dacos this week. What about Merritt? Merritt seems to play pretty good as well against the Pies. Sheasel, probably wouldn't go near Sheasel. Fisher, if he gets up, would got a 140 in round 9, so that's interesting. What about Rao? Yeah, I think I'm expecting a big bounce back game from Rao, but I wouldn't be putting the VC on him. Maybe if you want to have a pod captain, then you could do that, or if you have Noah Anderson or someone, they're probably going to get tagged though. That's the only issue. But yeah, if you want to get up the ranks, then you might want to do something risky like that. But I think Dacos is probably the safest one at the moment. And Bontempelli plays pretty good against Port, but he's probably going to definitely get tagged. So question mark on him. Butters, probably wouldn't go near Butters. I mean, he's got some good history there. Houston, I swear that the Dogs just give up points, don't they? Don't think so, but Dacos seems to be a pretty safe bet there. Who did they actually play? They played North Melbourne. I don't think, since Sheasel and Fisher didn't really go that great against the Doggies, probably not for Houston. Who else have we got? Walsh against GWS. Are they going to tag him? Probably not. They might, but a few tag options this week. And then we got Steele here against Sydney. He really needs to pump out a 130 for me, otherwise he might have to get traded out. But yeah, I don't mind his fixture either. It's really good. It's all these Marvel games. Got Richmond and Geelong coming up, West Coast. So I think I might have to just hold the faith in Steele, even though he's been letting us down for a couple of weeks now. It's a make or break game for him, I would say, coming up. So hopefully he can give us a 120 at least. And then Green against Carlton, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it's all right. But if you have Josh Kelly, maybe you want to put the VC or C on him. I think he plays really good against Carlton. So yeah. Rao, no. I'll probably consider Gawn, but probably not. Nank, no. Flanders against North. Don't think so. Don't think I will either. Heaney against Saints, that could be a good option. Hasn't played the greatest there. A bit unsure this week of who I'm going to put the C and VC on. Probably Gawn and Dacos are the safest ones probably for me. Dylan Moore, I don't know. It is in Geelong, so maybe not. He could go pretty big, but I don't think he will. Fisher's a bit of a risky one if you wanted to go there for a VC option. And then Jackson, probably not. So, Luke Ryan's obviously the VC that you would probably want to take, I'd say. Or you could just go a VC Dacos into Ryan. That's probably the safest bet. But yeah, if you want to have a bit more of a go, a bit of a punt, you do the VC on Fisher if he's playing. Into someone else. Nah, Fisher's probably too risky for me actually. You'd definitely rather be doing the VC on Ryan over Sarong probably. You could do something like this. It's probably what I'll look to do, or even just do a VC on Bont into Ryan. But yeah, there's a few options this week. You can go VC on Dacos, Ryan, or Bont, even Merritt for a bit of a bounce back game. Maybe you do the Merritt one actually because the Bombers need to win, need to beat a top 8 team. So maybe this is the round they beat them. They get the dub over the Pies, which would be a bit of a surprise. But yeah, this could be the round they do that, and he might go off. So that's another good reason for grabbing Codwell as well if you wanted to get him in. I think they could try and give the Pies a run for their money this week, hopefully. But for the moment, I'll probably just put the VC on Dacos into Ryan. I think that's like the safest bet, unless someone else pops up that I haven't thought about. But yeah, projected's dropped a little bit from that, like 2,485. So see how close that is to what we actually score. But yeah, that's about it. What else do we have a look at the leagues? So yeah, Sam was a bit unlucky against me there. I think I had McGovern come out and just go nuts. Or maybe he's got McGovern as well. Fish and Cripps, yeah. Yeah, McGovern and Walsh, that's a bit unlucky. Like, those guys went crazy, which is a bit of a surprise. And then who else have we got? So yeah, we've got Ryan. He's at 4th place now. Shane's having a really good season. Declan's having a pretty good one as well. And then Lockie's getting up there as well. We've got a couple spots from like 4th to 7th, which are all tied. So be interesting to see what the final bracket will be for the finals. But yeah, should be a good matchup this week. Got the dub over Spills, which was unlucky for him. So sitting at 2nd in that league. So Ben's going nuts in that one. Hopefully I can get up there. But yeah, not too pretty happy with the side. You know, need to break into the top 1,000. Do have Ben this week, so that'll be an interesting matchup. Hopefully we can get the job done over him. He's got a pretty good side. Sean Manor is another guy maybe you want to look at. He might actually get a game this week. Because yeah, he had a crazy VFL game. I think he kicked like 6 goals or something and had like 20 contested possessions. Maybe he's a downgrade option if you want to grab him. But yeah, surprised I haven't been playing him yet, which is a bit odd. As a Geelong supporter, I would have thought he would be in the side after all the losses, but still hasn't come in, so that's not a good sign. But shouldn't be too far off if you did want to get him for a downgrade option. But yeah, like Neil's been pretty good. I think he had a pretty average one though, just like a 115, was it? 114, pretty good stuff. Yeah, so he's got a pretty nice lineup coming up as well. But yeah, it's just like, who do we want to get in? Like, we'll probably have to get someone in the midfield, I reckon, like for Rowell or a Steele. It's just Dunkley's been going nuts, so he's probably out of reach as well. LDU kind of didn't go as good as we would have expected him to go. Cripps is actually going nuts, 538k. Like, maybe I could sideways someone to Cripps, like just as a bit of a pod, try and come back in the ranks. The man actually might win the Brownlow again, so bit of an underdog there to win the Brownlow, but does have a pretty favourable fixture coming up as well. Yeah, quite a few home games there at Marvel and, well, in Melbourne, I mean, and the MCG, so maybe we look at Cripps as a bit of a pod option if we wanted to try and get into the top 1,000. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see with Steele and Rowell this week before we decide on that. Maybe we look at going there. Laird's pretty good option as well, 113, got a low break even now, so he's going back up. Pretty sure his role has changed a little bit, so he's getting a bit of defender, bit of time in defence, so that's interesting. Holmes just keeps going off, so he's someone like that would have been nice in our back line if we had have picked him. Just pretty consistent now, so I think, yeah, next year I'll probably pick him as a midfielder if he's going to be a sole midfielder. I think, yeah, Tom Stewart was actually playing in the midfield, so that's an interesting one if you do own him. That'll probably keep happening, I reckon, with like most of our midfielders still being out. I think that hopefully they'll keep playing Tom Stewart. But yeah, Max Holmes continues to score well. Nearly top 6 defender, so that's crazy. But yeah, Sinclair's going under the radar as well. He's just going nuts. Probably should have looked closely at him. Seems to be the guy at St Kilda. Wish Steele was scoring as well as him, but he just isn't. So that's a bit of a stitch up there. But yeah, I think it's just we're going to wait another week, see what happens. If Rowell and Steele are still underperforming, then maybe we trade one of them. But I think I'll give it one more week and then decide from there. But if there's any other news about Fisher being out, maybe I have to sideways him to someone, which wouldn't be ideal, but we'd have to do that, I'd imagine. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.